Hi everyone, welcome to August 2017. Wanted to pop in here real quick and do just a little bit of a hello. Let you guys know that as of now, private readings are back to normal. Thank you so much to all of those that ordered a private reading and put up with my nonsense. I had just a whole bunch of stuff happen right before I left Indonesia, which was like so typical of the whole experience there. Dealing with immigration. They held my passport hostage for like a month, and it was like the day before I had to go when I finally got it. So I spent like 3 days waiting, systems down in Jakarta and all this, like, I don't know, it was just like a total mess. But so thank you for those that put up with me. And yeah, so it'll be back to normal. Also, quick announcement for freebies for Leo, okay? Every month, whoever's birthday month it is, I will be offering free solar return reports. So if you order a tarot card reading, I'll include, it's like a 20-page report that talks about the themes for the upcoming year based on your birthday and your residence location, okay? So it's kind of like a snapshot analysis of things that you can expect with your specific transits and things like that. It's kind of a cool report. I ran one for myself for being here in Budapest on my upcoming birthday in September. And I don't know, it's kind of cool to look at. So that's available for you as well. I'm gonna be doing a Bali video, another one. I know I already did one regarding the astrocartography, and I'm gonna do another one now that I know a little bit more about it. Kind of analyzing what happened when I was there and kind of associating it with transits, things like that. And also being here in Budapest and how it really is going to be affecting my chart. And like I said, I am offering astrocartography analysis in a more simple form for some of you who are interested in vacationing or moving to a new city and whatnot, just so that you can kind of get an idea of how the planets will shift and the possibility of having different aspects of your personality kind of be activated based on where your planets are located. So it's kind of a cool thing. And I will be doing that probably in the next month, as well as my new astrological video for Venus. I did one on Chiron already, and I have a whole new format that I'm going to do for Venus, which I'm pretty excited about, because the first one was kind of just like haphazard, just kind of threw it together, but to hopefully make it more valuable for you so that you can understand how your Venus affects the way you love and interact with people and the way that you appreciate beauty and life in general. So keep your eyes open for that, and that's it. I'll let you guys go. Thanks so much. Bye. Hello Gemini, how are you? Welcome to August 2017. Let's go ahead and get started. Thanks so much for being here. Super excited to be in August. Almost my birthday month. Almost. Definitely feeling the effects of that sun coming back. That's for sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and begin. Gemini. Oh. A great way to begin. You know, some readings, it's been kind of like 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Like some of the readings have been really tough, others have been okay. This is a beautiful way to begin in terms of you feeling enlightened. Oh, sorry guys. I have it like, I'm in an Airbnb right now, and this is like the only way I can set up my camera. I know it's a little bit far away, but hopefully you can still see the cards. Feeling a little bit enlightened, or feeling, really this is kind of a place of choice, right? Like some information has come to light, some realization has occurred, and now you're really forced to be like, okay, do I go this way or do I go that way? Which direction has the most favorable consequences, okay? The 3 of Cups indicates to me that the party's over. That's kind of how I always say it. The party's over. The fun is, you know, you've had it, you've done your thing. And fun can mean drama, right? Fun can mean not fun. Fun can mean resistance. It can mean limitations, okay? But like continuing to push those limitations. To me, this has like a giving effect. Like, okay, I understand, you win, universe. Let's just, you know, let's see what I need to do to move forward. But it's kind of it's challenging you, right? So I think you're still maybe trying to work against yourself a little bit, trying to make things a little bit more difficult. And maybe not consciously, right? Obviously, we're not all consciously walking around and saying, how can I make my life harder? You know, of course, we're not doing that. But, you know, just in terms of what makes the most sense for you. Now, this can also often indicate, you know, a third party situation. I've got 3 people kind of here as well. In a love relationship, maybe some of you are experiencing a third party, whether you've got 2 people going on, your partner's got 2 people going on, or you recently discovered that, right? You recently discovered that there was something going on. So like I said, you're still at that point of choice. Like, do you continue to make your life to go down the road you've been going on, or do you make a change and veer off in a new direction? Seeing that you're not quite, you know, you're probably feeling more emotional than you would like, you know, more emotional than you're used to for an air sign to be getting cups, you know. I mean, we all have emotions, obviously, but it's not like your preferred place. You know, you'd prefer to be in a place where you're mentally stimulated and where you are challenged to think things through. But this might be something where you're gonna really need to tap into that intuition of yours. You're really gonna need to feel your way through it, not necessarily think your way through it, okay? You may have been in a position where you get, okay, 2 6s coming out here. And interesting to have the 3 in the middle, kind of like the halfway point, right? So the 6s indicates a lot of giving, and you probably feeling like you just don't really have a lot of resources left to your disposal right now. You've just kind of expended as much as you can, and now you're just left to just like deal with it. And some of you really may be cutting something off. This is a card of, you know, the past, cutting off some, sorry, I know the lighting is terrible in here, but cutting off the connection, the past connection, choosing not to engage, choosing not to entertain advances from this person, choosing not to entertain, you know, their text messages, you know, maybe even doing kind of the typical Gemini thing where you kind of just turn the other way and just kind of live your life with the rest of your life behind you a little bit. Not saying all Geminis are like that. That's just like the duality of the twins kind of thing, like this way and that way and this way and that way. And it's just, you know, sometimes it's a blessing, I'll be honest. Sometimes that is a blessing to be able to just be like, okay, and you're a very decisive sign, right? So, or you can be a very decisive sign. So it's like, okay, when you decide that something is no longer serving you because you've expended so much, you just move on and you make it happen for yourself. You're not like a wishy-washy sign, right? You're not like one, like a Libra that's like, oh, I don't know what to do. How does it, you know, no, that's not a Gemini thing. The devil is coming out in a lot of the signs this month, okay? We're all kind of hitting things at a head. We're all being forced to confront our own circumstances, all right? And you are no exception here. Look, we all have to accept our own responsibility in our creation of where we're at, right? And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do because we're like, I'm a good person, I work really hard, all I did was love this person, and da 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 da, and like the list goes on and on and on about how you don't really deserve, you know, some of the circumstances that you're in. But at the end of the day, you're a part of the circumstances that you're in. So you know, there was some participation, you know, and to accept that and to understand it. And I think that's what this is really about, is to really make things clear, because it's kind of like a downward, you know, connecting here, coming from the ether, right? From the the consciousness of yours, coming down into that physical form. It's all kind of like this down to earth motion. And this is a great thing that you're at least acknowledging it and you're realizing it, and you're like, okay, well, now I kind of know what to do with it, you know? I'm happy it's coming out in the first layer. It's just something you're thinking about, your circumstances. You're just thinking about your circumstances, that's all. And asking yourself how you got here. And sometimes you get so caught up in the giving, and because we've been taught, you know, that we must love unconditionally and we must love all, you know, and forgive people and all of this. But at the end of the day, if someone's hurting you or mistreating you and you continue to love them and continue to allow them to affect your life in that way, then of course, yes, you're here. Four of Wands. It's a connection with your roots, okay? Some of you may be feeling like you don't want to let go, because this is something really hard to let go of, because there are people involved. There are personalities, there are egos, there are feelings, you know? And I don't think you really want to hurt anybody. Of course you don't. And you also don't want to hurt yourself. Of course you don't. And I think that you are clinging perhaps to that safety. There's some weird level of safety here. You feel comfortable living in this state. Maybe it's been going on for a very long time. I don't think you're going to be able to hang on that long though, because this really indicates that breakage point. Nine of Pentacles. See, there is a drainage on resources. You'll need to really evaluate the sense of like self-value and the sense of self-worth, not only within yourself, but within the world and the people around you, and just the worth of the situation, as weird as that sounds. Like, what is the situation worth? And where is there a disconnect in terms of respect? And where is there a disconnect in terms of true unconditional love? Because a lot of times when I see this card, there is a level of codependency, maybe a little bit of narcissism as well. That codependency, and I had something in my mind and I just forgot what it was. I don't remember. You know, communication might be difficult for some of you right now. You're probably not wanting to really communicate. There's also probably not a lot of enthusiasm toward like where it's headed. You know, I'm not saying you're dreading it. That's definitely not the case, but it's just like, it seems to me like this is more something that you just need to do just in order to be able to recharge, you know, to detach from something or someone in order to feel like back to yourself again. And the Page of Swords. Interesting. I often see this as an energy of Gemini. I know that the pages don't really represent signs, but I don't really like the Knight of Swords for Gemini, because I think there's a little bit too much negative connotation there with that particular card, because it is a very aggressive card, and I don't necessarily see Geminis as being very aggressive people. I've never encountered one. I think you're like super chill, super relaxed, like you're high strung, but relaxed at the same time, you know? So I often see this more as the card of Gemini, who's really curious and liking information and liking to learn, you know, it's like the card of the student. But here you are in the reversal. So you're just not feeling yourself. The physical world around you is not displaying that it's worth it. It's not showcasing, there's not a lot of output from this situation, right? There's not a lot of goodness. So it's just a matter of deciding, which you might be a little bit indecisive right now. You may be deciding really what to do. And like I said, I don't know that this is really something that you're going to be able to think your way through. I think this is going to be emotionally driven. And so you will have to feel and be like, okay, what is my heart telling me? Because I think your brain is going to lead you back here, because there's that safety and being a sign that's like kind of you know, comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, like you love being out of your comfort zone. You love expanding. You love going out and meeting and learning and talking and all these things. So there's some level of comfort and familiarity here that in some weird way is actually keeping you grounded. Okay, so some of you are in fully committed relationships. You are married. You are living together. You are in love, you know, but, you know, what is the nature of your devil situation? What is that sense of obligation, or what is that commitment doing to that spirit of yours? Remember that your reality is merely your perception of, you know, it's your perception. And I always say in my private readings, I always say, you know, you change your mind, you change your attitude, you change your behavior, and the cards change. You know, your world changes. And it's no different here. Five of Swords is that overcoming or moving past those things that no longer serve, because you know that you were spinning your wheels. You know that those battles, they weren't worth fighting. Those arguments, that button pushing, it's just like there are no winners. No one wins. So to continue down that path and continue that cycle is just going to keep you banging your head against the wall, trying to get something to change by doing the same thing. You may be having a difficult time really deciding what the different path is, okay? Because it may require you to do something difficult, something that you don't really want to do, like either breaking up or having that confrontational conversation. You know, I don't necessarily see Gemini as being the most confrontational sign. You know, you do approach things with logic and data rather than like, hey, we need to hash it out. It's not normally emotional. So, you know, you approach it, confront it however you need to. But it's time for you to recognize that's what judgment is. If you don't go down a different path, then you're just going to keep ending up right back where you are. So it's really, really time for you to change. And your intuition is saying that. Like you have this direct line right now with your higher level consciousness, okay? Or with the universe, with God, the creator, however you'd identify. You have that direct line. She doesn't show up unless she's speaking to you. She doesn't show up unless she wants you to pay attention. She's probably saying something that you're not really liking right now. She is your divine feminine. She is your intuition. She is your emotion. Okay, she's the dark subconscious side. That's why the feminine is always represented by the moon or lunar energies, because it is hidden and it is, you know, more internal. So you are not going to be able to think your way through this, guys. That's going to be a challenge, because the more you think, I think the more you're going to kind of like rationalize yourselves back into where you are. It's going to like kind of circulate in that manner. Oh, see, and here's the personification of the High Priestess. Okay, she's like the spiritual form and she's the physical form. Okay, so Four of Pentacles indicates that letting go. And interesting, the Pentacles coming out here, because when you think of it, you have the Cups, which represent, you know, the heart and the emotions and the right brain connection, okay? You have the Swords or the Blades, which indicate the left brain masculine energies, okay? And that's the intellect and the logic. You have the Wands, which indicate the will and the spirit and the action. But then you have the Pentacles, and that is the result. That is the manifestation of the combination of the masculine, feminine, and the spirit. Okay? So you have the three things working together to produce results. And here you have the Pentacles with the results. And the results are, I always see this as being unbalanced giving, even though the scales are balanced here. But someone is giving too much And I feel that it's you, and you're either, like, because we have fours, right? So there's that sturdiness, there's that element of foundation, but your actions, the ones, are maintaining this stability, but your heart is not, right? So when your heart, your mind, and your actions are not in alignment, because right now your actions and your heart are not in alignment, one's upright, one's reverse, and therefore your results are skewed in reverse. Okay, 4, 4, 4, and the results are being turned upside down. They're not giving you what you really are needing. So it's time for you to let something go. It's time for you to relieve yourself of some kind of burden. Maybe you need to say something. Maybe you need to do something. Okay, maybe you need to think something different, or, you know, again, I think your feelings or your emotions are really directing you here. Okay. Now this is likely your partner or something. Okay. If it's you, it could be you, but I'm feeling like it's not you. It's actually the person that you're dealing with. Okay. And it's, there seems to be a lack of depth here with this particular connection, a lack of, I don't think your intellect is being stimulated, which is super important for you guys. And it's almost like your heart got you to where you are, but it's your heart that needs to let you out. Now, this is not so bad. Like, this is not really a bad reading, and it doesn't mean that you guys are all going to be breaking up or splitting. It just means that something needs to change, you know? And I think this is the person that you need to really confront, because they're not really giving right now. They're a little bit in a selfish mode. You are in ultra giving, nurturing, kindness type of mode. Like, here we have Mother Earth. Mother Earth being the one that produces the harvest, right? And she is, I don't know why this card, I know this is supposed to be Venus, and that's like Libra and Taurus, and I get that, but to me this is much more of a Virgo-like energy, okay? Because it's the harvest, that's what Virgo is. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just my own stupid opinion. But like the, you know, the fact that the Virgo energy, or the Virgo sign, is ruled by Mercury, which is your also ruling planet. It's almost as though you're needing to take this more Virgo-like, more practical aspect of Mercury, your shared ruling planet, as opposed to, you know, the talking and all of this. Like, there needs to be more practical solutions at play. And I think that's really what your heart is really telling you to analyze and to really look at, because your mind is just kind of just rationalizing things and spinning a little bit too much and too quickly, that you're not really analyzing the Virgo, the Virgo types of details that are, you know, cannot be overlooked. Okay. This person can be really selfish. This person can take a lot. They tend to be more interested in the superficial pleasures of life. All right. This is not a good match for an Empress, because it's just like they don't have enough depth. They don't have enough even character to really match what it is that she embodies. All right. This is someone who's not very emotionally mature. It's someone that's not really able to communicate very well either, because they are driven with their heart as well. Okay. Oh, I'm going to actually turn the camera off for just 1 second. Hold on. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I had to step outside for just a second. And then I noticed that I wasn't wearing my ring, which I always try to wear this ring when I do this, because this is an aquamarine. And aquamarine is one of the crystals that helps with communication and interpreting your intuition and all this. So I figured I put it back on. Okay, so we just finished with the Knight of Cups and the Empress. Oh, we had a whole bunch fall out here. Card of Gemini, Sagittarius, the Fool, and the other card of Gemini. So for me, 2 cards of Gemini, I guess, 3 cards of Gemini. So you're really in your element here, but also not in your element. You may be tapping into that, like the head spinning part of your element. You know, this is a choice point. Again, and this does speak to logic. It speaks to intellect. It does speak to practicality, but not in terms of like the penny pinching type of practicality, but more of the like system practicality, how information needs to flow, logistics. I often think of this as like it's computers and technology as well, okay? And I know that's like such an unromantic way to interpret this card, because it is the Lovers and it does have romantic connotation, but when I'm reading for Gemini, this is you, okay? So, you know, it's really important for you to be honest, because right now I think there's a lack of honesty within yourself. You want so much to overcome, and I think you are perfectly capable of overcoming this. But right now there seems to be like a real disconnect between just a lot of stuff. Now, I kind of am feeling like this is the same person here. The Fire and Water, which is kind of an interesting mix enough as it is. Someone who may have different sides to their personality. Maybe they like pull out one personality one day and then they pull out the other personality the other day. This one can be very draining. Now, oftentimes this can be a really good match. It's the card of Sagittarius, which is your opposite sign. So it can be a good match, maybe in terms of like friendship, romantically, yes, but also like friendship, right? So there could be kind of a more somewhat of a mutual respect, because again, that Sagittarius energy takes what your sign has done, your sign has acquired the information and the knowledge, and kind of, you know, taken it to a different realm or a different level. So you do have that mutual respect. But right now it's not serving you, and they are kind of giving you that like push-pull. Again, there can be an indication of 3 people here as well. So there really could be something else going on. I am getting 3 people. Maybe this is someone else, you know, I don't know. 2 sides of one person, or 2 actually different people. And again, you're just like, I don't know. I feel like some of you are trying to do the runaway thing. Be careful of the runaway thing, guys, the Gemini thing. That seems to be a very common thing that I have in my private readings, is the Gemini doing the, you know, cutting off, the ghosting sometimes, and not a lot of explanation. The only reason I'm saying be careful with that is because I don't necessarily believe that this is someone that you really want to hurt. You know what I mean? And that's just bad karma anyway. If you want to leave, you know, be honest in your reasons why you want to leave. If you want to stay and work it out, then you're going to have to be present, and you're going to need to stay and work it out, you know? So there can't be, or I mean, there can be, you can do what you want, but there shouldn't be, out of kindness and goodness for yourself, not only for the other person, but the kindness and goodness for yourself as well, to be honest and to have those confrontational conversations if needed. Knight of Swords reversed, again, can be a little bit of that darker. That's why I don't really like it for the Gemini, because I don't normally see it going that aggressively, because I often see this as a very aggressive energy. But maybe, I don't know. I don't really have that much experience with Gemini. I don't know if you guys watched my Chiron video, but I did a video on Chiron, which is kind of like a minor planet that's in our solar system, and how it affects your astrology chart and your personality. My Chiron is in Gemini, so I have kind of a difficult relationship with the sign, and there's just like a little twinge of like, because you guys are so smart, you know, and so anyway, so I have kind of a weird relationship with Gemini, so I don't have a lot of like Gemini friends. The ones that I do have, they're really amazing people, but I just don't really keep them so close. There's just like our personalities are so different. So I think that you are like so hopeful and so optimistic about, because these are also kind of contradictory. Like there's not a lot of communication going on. There's not a lot of step taking, but then you want to take the step. So you're maybe even doing that duality thing within yourself. Do I step? Do I not? Do I go? Do I stay? You know, do I take that leap of faith or not? Do I trust this person or not? So there is a lot of that back and forth going on. The thing is that if you choose to stay and work it out, and you choose to kind of hit this head on, it really is gonna, you know, you're gonna need to really ask yourself if your head, your heart, and your actions are really in alignment. Because if they're not, then that's when you get this situation. And I think it's that lack of alignment that has really gotten you to where you are right now. In the meantime, it sounds like, or it looks like you're kind of just doing what you need to do. Again, another Virgo energy going on. So I really think you're, because we have actually Mercury entering Virgo. So you're really going to need to be, and this is your shared planet, and you guys, there's different aspects. So you're going to need to kind of tap into that different style or that different type of Mercury energy, which is like paying attention, putting your head down, going to work. It's a very anti-air energy, okay? But like really focusing on what really can be done and what really needs to be done and making revisions accordingly, okay? This is a card of hard work, but also the, you know, the payout. This to me indicates a payback of some kind. You know, yes, you did the work, and yes, you know, did what you needed to do, but there's a reward there for you as well. Just like the Empress reaps the harvest. It's not just hard work for nothing. Yeah, see, there's just not, I mean, there's just like so much going on. In discrepancy between what you're saying to yourself and what you're feeling and what's going on in the outside world. And it's just a little bit chaotic, I think, because whenever the Nine of Swords comes out, it leads me to believe that there is chaos. And I think you're just really not liking the messages that your High Priestess is giving you. And like it or not, those are the messages that you're being given. Often it is when we ignore those messages that leads us to here, right? These are the same. You've already ignored your intuition. So now it's time to make the change that maybe you could have made before. If you don't make the change, you're just going to keep cycling back. You're just going to keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. You know, what's that? There's that saying, I've said it in the past couple signs, it's that which you resist persists. I think that's how it goes. So the more and more you resist, and the more and more you lean into your limitations, and you keep, you know, banging your head against the wall, the more and more it's gonna keep you there, and more it's gonna hurt. And being such a flow-oriented sign, I mean, my goodness, nothing moves faster than air. So it seems to me like you are like you're in a very unnatural place, but it's weirdly comfortable. You're done. Some of you have reached that final point. I'm done, no longer. I don't want to think about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. Well, okay, well then get to work. Get to work, do what you need to do. Here we have the Emperor, which is the masculine. So we have the High Priestess, which is the feminine, and we have the Magician, which is the masculine. Okay, so you've got that intellect, logical side. This is you taking control. This is you harnessing in this unruly air stuff going on here and extinguishing it. I guess the fire sign is not really, but you know, extinguishing it and reeling it in and making it work for you. okay? Making it work for you. Because right now, obviously, it's not working. Because no matter what you're giving, no matter what energy you're doing, see, remember, the pentacles represent that which you have manifested. So you're ending up with a 5. You're putting in a 6, you're putting in an 8, but you feel like you have 5. Okay, well, what does that tell you? King of Pentacles. A lot of people here. So yeah, you know, there may be multiple players. This is how you see it. This is how you see, you know, the situation. You have a lot of power, Gemini. You have a lot of power and you have a lot of say in this particular scenario. I see this as being a very positive indication that you are going to make this change this month. That you are going to turn your situation and make, what is it, the saying? Take life's lemons and make lemonade. Like, this is you making lemonade, I would say. And saying, I'm going to make the best of this. I'm going to make this change. I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to fight, because the choice that you're faced with here, remember the Judgment card coming out first, right? So you have been given everything that you need to know. And if you take it, you're going to become this more powerful version of what you are. And I think you're going to kind of face this side of like, I didn't know I was capable of that. I didn't know I was capable of putting myself in such a much better position. You know, and it's like, if I would have known, I would have done it a long time ago. Chariot, 10 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups. Another indication of moving on and separating. You know, being this in the hopes, maybe you had just like such high hopes, you know. Interesting actually that all of these, are all facing like away from the reading, right? Even though they're reversed and all that, but like this one's looking in that direction, this one's running, and this one's going in this direction. So it's all like moving into the future. So that's the future direction for me. So you're moving in future. I know you have hopes of having everything, to hope from going to an 8 to a 10, and you absolutely can. This is ultimate success and victory in whatever it is you're trying to do. Ultimate success in your own self-love, ultimate success in your relationship, ultimate caring in whatever it is that you're wanting. But you must leave something behind. This is your comfort zone, right? This is the familiarity and the groundedness. Again, leading with your heart, Cups, leading with your heart. Pay super close attention to what your heart is telling you. Because even here, your environment, not only are you doing that, you know, push, pull, stay or go thing, but, you know, again, we have the 2 Sphinx. The black representing the feminine, the white representing the masculine. Okay, you've got the solar and the lunar energies. Okay, and if you see the headdresses on these Sphinx, they have the black and white stripes, both of them. It's like the yin-yang sign. They contain each other, right? And when they are working against each other, it causes chaos. When they are working together, it causes triumph. You are headed toward a triumph, whether you realize it or not. I don't think the universe is really going to really allow you to be in this state for that much longer. If you do happen to fall back into a past pattern, you're going to get the Tower, and the universe is going to be like, nuh-uh, I am not allowing this. Absolutely not. Like you're on the fast track to a new place, a better place, okay? As long as you choose to lean into the change, no matter how hard it is to rip off that Band-Aid, but you got to rip off the Band-Aid in order for the wounds to heal. Okay, so I mean, really positive way to end it. I know you're dealing with a lot of stuff. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of stuff. It's in the past. Okay, it's all in the past, and where you're moving is so positive and so like beautiful, and I'm excited for you. I don't know, I haven't done too many exciting readings where I'm like, oh yay, super excited. But for you, Gemini, yes, definitely. Okay, well, I'll leave you with that. Thanks so much. I'll see you next month. Bye.